Okay, let's get started. Yesterday I told you what we're going to do, what the overview of this whole video series was about, analyzing deals, learning how to find a deal and figure out whether or not, in a very short period of time, figure out whether or not it's going to make sense for you as an investor, whether you're going to be able to have a good exit strategy for it and you're going to be able to make a profit on it, or whether it's going to make sense for you to be able to sell it to another investor. The first 8 or 10 videos I'm going to talk about the theory behind this process, and the last 10 videos, I'm actually going to take specific deals and we're going to go over them one by one. A lot of different types of deals that you guys sent me. A couple of weeks ago, I sent out an email asking you for your deals, saying, send me the deals. I'm creating a new video, new video series. If you send them to me, I'll try to analyze some of them for you. I got flooded with deals. I'm not going to be able to do them all, but what I am going to do is try to take a representative group of all the different types of deals that I got, so that you'll have a good understanding of how you can analyze each different type of deal rather than just staying all in one arena. On this video, though, I'm going to talk about zero down and no credit deals and how to analyze those types of deals. The way you do that is by using the hierarchy of zero down structures that I created. They are, if you've heard me talk about this before, I talk about it on a lot of the different videos and training programs that I teach, and a lot of the free stuff that I give away also talks about these as well. So I'm not going to go into them in detail. As a matter of fact, I teach this to my mentor students, and on the push button method, it takes me 2.5 hours to go through this whole deal hierarchy, and understanding how to do zero down structures is vital if you're going to have a real estate investing business. Zero down structures are the most valuable tool in your kit because they make it possible for you to do deals many different ways and use many different structures to make that work. Now, the hierarchy is this, and by hierarchy I mean the way you would structure a deal. You're going to look at a deal and say, okay, can I first do the top layer in the hierarchy? The hierarchy is set up so that you are the safest in the transaction at the top of the hierarchy. You want to do the deal that's at the top of the hierarchy. But you can't always do the top deal in the hierarchy. Sometimes you have to come down in the hierarchy in order to make it palatable for the seller. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to know what that hierarchy is, so that you know what your safety margin is and know where you're at as far as being in control of that transaction, because you're always safer in a transaction if you're in control of it. Okay, the hierarchy of zero down structures. The top one is buying a property subject to the existing loan. And this is when you're buying a property, not selling it. If you're selling a property, you're not going to sell it subject to. You're only going to buy a property subject to. When you buy a property subject to, that means you're getting the deed to the property. The seller, the owner, the person who has that property right now, and who has a mortgage on that property, is going to sign the deed over to you, into your company's name. And you're going to start making payments on their loan. You're not going to be applying for their loan. You're not going to be qualifying for their loan. You're not going to be responsible for their loan, other than your own moral responsibility to make sure that your seller is taken care of. So basically what happens is you're able to take over a property without putting any cash into it, without using your credit, and you get the deed to the property. The deed is ownership of that property. That's the sweetest position to be in as a property owner. Now, there's lots of ways to be a principal in a transaction, but to actually be the owner of that property, to be on the deed, that's the strongest position you can be into, and it's the hardest one for anyone to dislodge you from if there's ever a dispute in a transaction. So you want to be on that deed. And there's lots of different ifs, ands, or buts about subject twos, why you should do them, what the risks are, why you shouldn't do them, what to look out for, all those things. I'm not going to cover those right here. I've only got a few minutes here in this video to get through all these structures. So listen to the other stuff that I teach. But having subject to deals, that's the top of the hierarchy. That's how you're going to buy. That's going to be your first choice to buy any property.